Today on Locked On Canadiens, a men's hockey preview, and I would like to posit that Nate MacKinnon is not psycho enough.
You are Locked On Canadiens, your daily podcast on the Montreal Canadiens, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi there, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Locked On Canadiens. We want to thank you all for making us your first listen of the day. As you know, we're free and available wherever you get your podcasts, as well as on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. My name is Laura Saba, also known as the Active Stick, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Ian Boisvert, who does all the math on this show. And we have a special guest today. We have the president of Ghoulie Nation, as well as the #1 Nathan MacKinnon defender, Kay Imam from Game Overs, joining us. Kay, welcome back to the show.
I'm so excited to be back. We're so back. We're so back.
We are so back. So with Kay, we're going to preview the men's semifinal matchups. We'll talk a little bit about Nathan MacKinnon, what's going on with him. I was only partly joking about the psycho part. I do really need to talk about it. And then we have some lovely mailbag questions because it is Friday. So let's get started. Kay, I will give you the honors. How excited are you for the men's semifinal matchups coming up?
I'm excited, nervous, mostly nervous because I'm always nervous. Like that's my default state. And I'm really superstitious. So you guys are really pushing it by making me talk about this, I'll tell you. But yeah, I'm excited. Listen, watching the hockey we've been watching has been really great. So I'm excited.
And you have so many boys that are still left in the tournament. You've got, MacKinnon, you've got Nathan MacKinnon, you've got you've got Nick Suzuki, you've got Team Canada. Ian, let me ask you a question. I'm not going to say how do you think tomorrow's going to play out because we talked a little bit about it. What do you think the keys are for Slovakia to upset and for Team Canada to win? Because I don't want to talk about upsetting there.
Yeah. I think for Slovakia to upset, I think we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but in the spirit of prepping this, Slafkovsky's going to have to be the man, right? He's been the man to this point. It's funny, they got through Germany with very little out of Juraj Slavkovsky. So hopefully he's banking that and is ready to, punish the United States. I'm the way that I'm looking at it, when I watch Sweden play the U.S., they were very set on dominating below the U.S.'s goal line. And I think if that's the recipe for success against that team, we're going to see a lot of Juraj Slavkovsky in this game. He's going to be working down low, trying to get those pucks off the wall and two guys in scoring positions. Might not be a goal scoring effort from him. The other thing that I saw is on the penalty kill, the United States, they seemed very comfortable giving up shots from the flank. They said, if you're going to beat us, it's not going to be in the middle of the ice. We saw Slafkovsky uncork a one-timer in the end of the preliminary round against Sweden at the end of a power play like that. So I think if you're Slovakia, you just have to keep it simple. That team is running on vibes right now. The U.S. was, like Canada, was on the ropes. They were almost out in the quarterfinals. So, I don't think an upset here is likely, but I'm certainly not counting it out. Like, I think that, it could really grow the legend of this Slovakian team and Juraj Slavkovsky if they pull it off. It's there for them. And, of course, Samuel Hlavaj in net needs to be the guy that we saw against Finland in the first game of the Olympics, who just stopped everything en route to an upset in game one.
He was absolutely incredible. I do think, though, if we're going on vibes and if we say this is, I don't know if it's a Cinderella team because I feel like that would be maybe more like a Germany or, an Italy or a France or whatever. But those teams usually make it to the final, so because that's where they usually lose. So I'm kind of hoping that this is like how the hockey gods have concocted it. I do think what you said about Slafkovsky down low, it is his bread and butter, right? It is his thing. It is what he does. It is what he dominates at. I also, you alluded to it yesterday, him getting in the Kachuk brothers' face, right? Because we have seen this in the past. They sometimes will forget that there's actually a hockey game to be played, and they go for score settling and message sending. And how likely is it that they've learned their lesson?
Nah, very unlikely. I mean, Brady Tkachuk slew-footed the crap out of Rasmus Dahlin at the end of the Sweden game. Nothing happened of it. Nothing came of it, unfortunately. That's my biggest fear, is that they do Tkachuk things, and because really, like, who are they going to be going after? It's Juraj Slavkovsky. Win or lose. What I'm looking for out of Juraj Slavkovsky is, how does he handle this moment? Like, I think, yes, he won a gold medal or a bronze medal in the last Olympics. This is a different beast, and it's with a chance to go to the gold medal game on the line. They're going to be able, the U.S. is going to be able to single out Juraj Slavkovsky. He's going to have to find a way to play through it. I'm very excited to see how he does. Again, the Canadians love to collect information. This is information to be collected, right? On the player, how he handles this moment.
Ian said that he didn't really have a lot to do with he didn't do a lot in terms of goal production. I would like to posit that he had a bag of ice on the back of his neck, and there was a goal scored, and then there was another goal scored with the bag of ice on his neck. So I'm not saying he did it, but
they rallied around him in that moment.
They rallied around him. So I'm just really excited to see what he does tomorrow. I think Juraj Slavkovsky is. It's been really exciting to see him meet the moment time and time again. So I'm excited to see what he does tomorrow.
And I honestly, for me, I'm a little bit not nervous. Sorry, I'm a little bit apprehensive because he will be the target on the team, right? But I also think that this is an opportunity for Tomas Tatar to be useful, right?
Yeah, he's had a rough go.
Yeah, he's not been great. He can either become useful by being an incredible line mate, or he can distract and he can get in people's faces, and which is not a role he normally plays, right? But he can do that and have Dvorsky and Slafkovsky kind of take over otherwise.
Yeah. I wonder how long of a leash Tatar has in this game, because the center on that line, Adam Ruzicka, has been great. He's looked really, really good on that line. Obviously, Slafkovsky's looked good. But there are guys lower in the lineup who have proven that they have the ability to chip in offensively. Pavel Regenda of the San Jose Sharks scored twice in that last game. Dalibor Dvorsky's looked fantastic for Slovakia in this tournament. Like, I wonder how long I know it's Tatar's the captain. He's the leader of this team. But, like, push comes to shove, they need goals late in the game. Is Tatar someone that they're able to count on? I do not know the answer to that.
I want to kind of shift our attention to the U.S. briefly before we're going to talk about Canada in the next segment, obviously. Do you think that the U.S.'s defense is better than we give it credit for?
I think it's different than what we thought it was going to be coming into this tournament. I think the U.S., the way that we all talked about the U.S. mostly as like this big, tough, in-your-face team is mostly at forward. Whereas on defense, like they have like McAvoy is an animal. Like, he wants to kill everybody all the time. That's why I don't particularly like him. But like the rest, like Quinn Hughes has been a magician in this tournament. Like, he is, of the Tkachuks and the McAvoys and the everybody else, I am most worried and afraid of Quinn Hughes, which is saying something, because he is a small Victorian child. Like, he is a ghost boy. I don't understand how we allowed ourselves to make these defensemen. It's him. Cale Makar has a little bit of that translucence to him. It's Lane Hudson. Like, all of these guys are practically see-through, and it doesn't matter. They're incredible players. So I'm not so worried about them from a physical perspective. Their penalty kill has been perfect. Like, team defense is very strong for this USA team. But I don't quite get like the Canada 2014 vibe from them, where the goal is to win 1 or 2-0, right? Like, I don't think that's what we're looking at with this USA team.
Last question before we go on to our next segment. This is for the group. Those ghosts that Quinn Hughes is seeing, whose ghosts do we think they are?
Great question.
Yeah.
I feel like they're unknown ghosts, which makes it even scarier. Like, wherever he goes, he sees the ghost of that building. Like, I'm talking Ghost Whisperer. So he just sees whatever's there, which is scarier. And that's why he looks so scared all the time.
Yeah, it's not like a dead celebrity or like a dead hockey player or a relative. It's
Exactly.
just some
No.
rando.
It's just randos.
I think it's the ones from Pac-Man that are just floating around him. That's why he always has like an air of confusion to the way that he looks. And I think that's why he's so confused. He's like, what is Blinky doing here? This doesn't make any sense.
All right. On that note, we will move on to Canada, Finland, and I want to talk a little bit about Nate MacKinnon. Obviously, we're going to talk about how to get him going, and that's coming up in just one moment here on Locked On Canadiens. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Ever wanted to experience the NBA Finals live and in person? FanDuel is giving you the chance to turn that dream into reality with their NBA sweepstakes. Here's how it works. Use your profit boost on any NBA future, and you'll automatically be entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for two. That's right, flights, tickets, the whole experience. If you're already looking at the board and thinking about which team can make a deep run, this is the perfect time to lock it in. I love futures this time of year. Whether it's picking a team to win the championship or grab a conference title, it adds that extra layer of excitement to every game down the stretch. And now, not only can your pick get you some cash, it could also send you to the finals. Visit fanduel.com to get started. Use your profit boost on an NBA future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. All right, the Olympics are here, and we set up an Olympics group chat in the Everydayer Club Discord so you can watch along with other hockey fans. Members also get Locked On Canadiens ad-free. Join now at lockedoncanadiens.supercast.com or tap the link in the show notes to learn more. It is time. We are here with our wonderful special guest, Kay Imam of Game Over, the Game Over Network. We had her boss on yesterday. We talked a lot about how the Montreal Canadiens might be unfairly penalized at times. That's just a very simplified way of putting what Andrew taught us yesterday. So check out yesterday's episode in the third segment if you want to learn more. But today we're here with Kay, and we're going to talk a little bit with Nathan MacKinnon's biggest offender, about Nathan MacKinnon. But first, let's get started with what do the Canadian? I almost said the Montreal Canadiens. I miss my boys. What does Team Canada need to do to ensure Finland does not upset?
So yeah, I think like if Canada just goes out there and they play the way that they're supposed to, the roster does the things they're supposed to, they'll be fine. The challenge here being who is healthy, who's going to be playing in that game. Also, like a non-insignificant part of this, Tom Wilson just completely vanished in the back half of that game. We did not see Tom Wilson when the game mattered. Like, are you going to just put MacKinnon back on that line? So I guess, you know, with our resident MacKinnon knower on, should probably throw this to Kay. Like, this is seeing MacKinnon like this is weird, right? Like, this isn't who we're used to seeing.
Yeah, he just looks a little off. I would bet he's injured. You know, this isn't the guy that I'm used to seeing. Right before the Olympics, there was a bit of a drop off in play as well, but everybody was kind of like, these are the guys who are looking ahead to Milan, right? Like you see that happen. So nobody was really concerned. I'm not particularly concerned. I'm a little concerned. I think one of the issues has been, and this sucks for me personally, because both of these guys are my guys. I just don't think him and Nick have necessarily worked together. And I think because John Cooper seems to value Nick Suzuki enough to keep him in the top 6, he's trying to make that work. I think maybe he's trying to help Nate's defensive game a little, but it's just not working. I think you need to put Nick back at C. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I think just different line mates or what's needed. Nathan MacKinnon takes some. There's very particular people who can play with Nathan MacKinnon, I would say.
Yeah.
Do we put the Mac line back?
There's so many Macs on this team.
That would be so fun.
I honestly, that's what I want to see. I want to see McDavid with Macklin Celebrini and with Nathan MacKinnon, and I would like to see Nick Suzuki center Marner and Stone, even though I hate those guys because why are you a Vegas Golden Knight? I really just, and especially after being like an Ottawa Senator and a Maple Leaf, like like the most
Truly.
punchable existence in history.
Well, it's so
Um,
funny because they could ask Nick Suzuki, "Why aren't you a Golden Knight?" Right? Like he was. It's like
That's
Ghosts
so
of Christmas
true,
Future
yeah.
and Past on the same line. It's kind of nuts. It's funny. Like if Crosby's out, like that line no longer has a question mark because it's gonna be Suzuki in the middle of those
yeah,
guys. You'd imagine because they
Which
look
is
good.
very funny, by the way.
It's super funny. But they looked good, and Suzuki looked more comfortable at center than he did on McKinnon's wing. One of the things I continue to have to catch myself with is the one guy on this team that there has never been any question about is the 19-year-old who's leading them in goal scoring. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's kind of nuts to think that they were thinking about not taking him. like, like,
know.
and there was all the thought, well, we can't take him because we're going to take Bedard, and then Bedard played his way out of it with injury, and now this kid is just unbelievable, writing his own legend here. I guess, when it comes to some of the other parts of this lineup, like who else can play with MacKinnon if he's not going to be on that top line, let's play the game. Like who else is going to play with this guy?
right. Like it's
I think
honestly
in the
that's
past, he and Marner have worked well together.
Yep.
So I
Ah.
think
Yeah, I mean he and Sid
he's
have
on the other
too.
side.
Like
Yeah.
putting if Sid is healthy enough to go, like I wouldn't mind to see like put the Nova Scotia line back together.
Yeah.
Put those guys back out there. It's a challenge. I think Canada, like I said, Canada should not struggle against Finland. Finland's a great team, but just Canada should not have a hard time if the pieces that need to go are going. With that said, like we're one. I don't really care about this period away from Jordan Binnington of them being out of this tournament, like which is just unfortunate, right? Like it's the argument we're always going to have to come back to is this the right choice? Kay, would you switch goalies coming into this game?
No, I don't think Logan Thompson was impressive enough in his start. He had the chance. Despite what John Cooper said, I don't think it was a guarantee that Jordan Binnington was for sure going to be the goalie, but Logan Thompson just didn't do enough in his start. I was not comfortable with him there. And I think a coach is likely, if two guys are not playing well equally, or I would even say Binnington's playing better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not changing goalies, and I hate to say that. Like I hate to
Yeah.
say it.
I think for me, the problem with Binnington is that the game absolutely has to be on the line for him to make good saves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's just the way he is, right? And so I'm obviously concerned about goaltending. I haven't seen anything from Team Canada's defense to really be too concerned about, honestly. I don't know that they've been world beating, but I think they've been okay. But I do want to shift the focus specifically to some Nathan MacKinnon narratives. Like I personally, and we've all heard the stories, right? He's a
Yes.
fierce competitor. He works really hard. He won't let Sidney Crosby beat him in a foot race. He will die before he does that, you know. And he's very intense. He doesn't eat any carbs. He doesn't like anyone around him, messing with his process. But I'm here to say that if you're going to be Nathan MacKinnon and you're going to get that reputation, you need to be a little bit more psycho. Like I need to see you eating a banana with a peel on the bench. Like I need to see you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kay, you were here. You are the Nate defender. Can you please
Yes.
tell us, is Nathan MacKinnon a psychopath?
I think, and actually, a really some interesting quotes came out from him this Olympics that made me feel really bad for him. He had some quotes about that, like they were asking about Macklin Sarabini and like how he was doing it, and Nate was basically like, "Yeah, younger me was like absolutely lazy and terrible, and like he should have worked harder, and I only got better because I worked harder." And I'm like, Nate, this like, uh, buddy, I know you're I know you're seeing a sports psychologist, but maybe like more.
Yeah,
Um,
double down on that.
maybe double down on that. So I think the reason why Nathan MacKinnon is the way he is, and I'm not comparing him to Juraj Slavkovsky in any sort of way, But I'm seeing there are first overall picks that are generational, that come in with that innate talent that had to work hard, obviously, but that's theirs for the taking. I think for Nate, it was always there for the taking, but he has to work for it. I think he really does have to work for it in a way that maybe not everybody does. So I think that's the reason why Nate is the way he is because he has to be the way he is. And it's worked for him, so it's reinforcing those habits.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a lot about how he's not doing that great at this tournament, but at the end of the day, this year, he is the best hockey player in the NHL right now, right? He's the best hockey player playing. And we're not looking at McDavid's tournament, et cetera, et cetera. I'm just saying that I think what I'm seeing from him is that, like you said, he has to work really hard for it. Like people like Nathan MacKinnon, people like Juraj Slavkovsky, the pressure not to disappoint, the pressure to live up to who other people say you were, especially if it's something that you have, like it's a belief that you have in yourself. I can be the best player in the NHL. I can be the best player on the Montreal Canadiens. I can lead Slovakia to a medal, whatever it is. And I think that what gets lost in that is that you are playing a game for a living. And when I watch Juraj Slavkovsky dominate at hockey, I see fun. I see that he is having the time of his life out there. When I watch Nathan MacKinnon play hockey, I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing him trying to accomplish an assignment, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I hear Juraj Slavkovsky in my head. Now they did the My World where they the NHL followed some of the players who were going over to the Olympics, and they're following Juraj Slavkovsky for a day, and he sees Cole Caulfield and Caden Gooley across the street walking down the street with pizza, and he's walking across the street. They're like, "You want a piece of pizza?" And he goes, "Have a slice." And in the back of my head, every time I see Juraj Slavkovsky do anything, he's going, "Have a slice," and I can't they're both freaks when it comes to the sport, but I think Slav handles the off ice. He takes the game seriously, but he doesn't take himself too seriously. I think that's the difference between how both of these guys have attacked what goes into being a star in their country, in their sport, on their teams. They're vastly different in that way.
Final one-word question.
I also just like to defend him that I do think he's sick and injured. I'm just gonna say
for sure. Yeah, he's not 100%. No.
Something's off there.
Something's off.
He did throw up on the bench, but that could just be drinking his Gatorade too quickly or whatever. But final question, one-word answer before we move on to break. Is there a possibility that Nathan MacKinnon beheads a Finn?
Well, maybe. Mikko Rantanen's on the other team, so there's one right there for him.
I was gonna say yes. Great observation, Ian. I totally forgot about that. Now I can be a hater again.
But Lecky's on the other team. He has to feel kind of conflicted.
Yeah. I think when it comes to Team Canada, I don't think he's even a little bit conflicted.
Yeah,
he
ran over Marty. He ran over Nate just so hard last game.
Yeah, he will bite off Arturi Lekkonen's ear if he has to. That is my Nathan MacKinnon headcanon. All right, we do have to move on to our mailbag, and that's coming up in just one moment here on Locked On Canadiens. It is time for our mailbag, and I just realized that I did not collect the mailbag questions, so I'm desperately hoping that my co-host did.
I can vamp for you. Let's start with women's hockey. So we're recording this on the day that a very dramatic gold medal game, one of the all-timers. I know we're not on the side where we come out happy at the end of it. But Canada kept it close. They had the lead for most of the game, and they could not hold off the inevitability that is Hillary Knight and Team USA, who wins in overtime. But there's a couple of questions here. This one from Stip72 on Blue Sky. Do you bring back Troy Ryan as head coach of Team Canada, the women's team, in 4 years? What are your thoughts? I'll start with Laura on this one.
I think overall, there's a lot of things that I would change about Team Canada, and I don't necessarily think coaching was at issue. I think the program as a whole and the development and the choices that they made coming into the tournament are kind of an issue. The final game was close. It was very entertaining, but that in that conversation, we're forgetting that for the last few rivalry series or world champion, whatever you want to call it, that Team USA has been unbelievably dominant, not just had Canada's number, has been massacring Canada, right?
Yeah.
So that's a lesson. If you are supposed to be the gold standard and you're supposed to be two teams above all, well, one team has moved very far ahead. So I think that kind of answers the other question too. So that is like, I don't necessarily know. I think there has to be like a wholesale revision of how they do things. But I did not feel that coaching was at issue in the games that I watched this tournament of Team Canada play.
Yeah.
For me, and like with the heads up that I defer to a lot of other people who watch women's hockey a lot more. But from my understanding and like from what I'm seeing, I agree. A lot of the issues were roster. It was just too old, I think. There's a lot of nostalgia that played a part that maybe shouldn't have. We've always seen Hockey Canada have an issue with NCAA players for reasons. Um, it, so it is a roster issue, but also I've looked at, every single game they release the breakdown time on ice, and it always was the youngest players getting the least amount of time, even even when they were proving that they could play well. Um, I don't know. I think, like you said, it's time for a change, and I fear that part coaching is part of it.
I think they need to look to future versus legacy. And I think they like Canada as a whole, our whole attitude about hockey, it lives a lot in legacy. That said, unless she chooses to retire, you bring back Pooh for next Olympics, and you bring back Sidney Crosby, 48-year-old Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
Of course, no question.
Yeah, and I think this leads into a question we got from Jamie Massey. How does Canada rebuild from this? A lot of clutch players retiring this cycle. Do we have the depth coming up? I think how you rebuild, if Poulin wants to come back, she's got a spot. It might be a lower lineup role, but she's going to be there if she wants to be there. She has the same kind of aura that we talk about with Sidney Crosby. Like it's the same, it's a 1-for-1. Like it's very simple to draw that line. For me personally, I'm building this squad around Sarah Fillier. Like I know, earlier on in the prelims, she was fantastic. In the gold medal game, especially late as Canada started to sort of wear out, she was one of the only ones who had her legs. I thought Darryl Watts was fantastic down the stretch in that game. Like I know it's very doom and gloom right now with the Team Canada at the women's tournament, but like I think there are young parts to build around. And they have to start embracing the NCAA aspect of this. That goes on both sides. Like the men's at the World Juniors, they were not super thrilled about having Michael Hage there, right? Like, and when they named their players of the tournament, he was not one of them. Like, they have a hard time respecting players who choose to go the NCAA route. And that needs to change across the board. Will it? I don't know. We're asking Hockey Canada to change something historically they don't really like to do. So
I feel like their hand's going to be forced on the women's side, at least with the retirements, right? Like they don't really have a choice. So they'll trip and fall their way into maybe being better.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Next question. This is from Andy on Blue Sky. What talent do you think you could represent your country in? Not necessarily a sport, but anything. Napping, blowing big bubbles. Kay, what could you represent your nation in?
Doom scrolling.
that's great. Like TikToks per hour.
Actually, I'm more brain poisoned in that I'm a Instagram Reels per hour person, which is even worse.
Yeah.
It's millennial of me. It's very millennial of me.
It is. You're not Gen Z enough. I guess I should be as well. I'm a YouTube Shorts guy, so I'm like even further down the line.
I didn't want to admit it, but I'm also a YouTube Shorts girl.
I knew I liked you.
I'm the oldest person here. Why am I the one on TikTok?
Because it's a bell curve. Like it comes back around. Like you guys are like we're in our millennial like. We need to belong to the thing we belong to. Where I'm not trying to be anything else. I say as there are Pokemon cards all over my desk right now. Like, that still belongs to millennials. Laura, what could you represent your nation in?
Showing up late to this podcast.
It's If this was if this was the, if there was a final for this and I was representing the United States, I would win silver every time. Like it is unfortunate. For me, I think it's it would have to be like a lifetime, like a year-long event. How many hobbies I get interested in, spend too much money on, and then immediately abandon. I think that would be where I'm like, yeah, bread making, man, that's gonna put him in the lead. That's gonna be really tough to overcome. All right, Robert Rice, do you think the Canadiens can fix their penalty kill this season? It feels like it's the kind of thing that would cost them a playoff series, as it is. Kay, can the Canadiens fix their penalty kill this season?
There's 25
Any
games
team
left.
with Jake Evans, the god, on it can fix their PK. I genuinely think they can. I just think it's, especially with Caden Gooley coming back after being out for so long, it's just a matter of chemistry, in my opinion. It's hard to replace Yoel Armia on the penalty kill. By the way, don't know if you've been keeping up, but he's been scoring shorthanded for the Kings as well.
So good. For Finland. He scored a shorty for Finland in the
Exactly.
Olympics.
It's his bit. It's his bit, and I love that for him. And hey, maybe Marty will put Juraj Slavkovsky on the penalty kill.
I think he ought to try it. I think if the Canadiens are to fix their penalty kill this season, it's a Band-Aid fix. Like it's somebody comes in for the rest of the season in the playoffs and they go, we're 58, you are David Savard for the rest of the year. Like that's who you are. Otherwise, like I'm sort of banking on the fact that most of the penalty kills stayed back. I mean, Nick is there and Kapanen is there, but most of the penalty killers are at home. Hopefully they're working on that.
Practicing the penalty kill.
I think I joked about it before.
Kapanen isn't exactly playing either. Oliver Kapanen is not playing.
No. Did they ship Texier back already? Get him over there. Like enough. Everybody focus on 5-on-4 right now.
Yes.
Yeah, that's sort of where I think that. Laura, what do you think about the penalty kill? Can they fix it this year?
I think they can fix it, but like you said, I don't know if it's going to be the penalty kill of the future core of this team. But I do think that they can try new things and at the very least get better. I know some people are arguing that it's not that bad, but when your goaltending is the way it is, you need a much better penalty kill.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
We have one more question, sort of a tongue-in-cheek question. This comes to us from David. Quick question: should Canada offer Lane Hutson and Cole Caulfield citizenship? What are we?
Well, Lane Hutson already has it.
Yeah, his dad very much made a point to go on, a podcast and say, "Well, we could go to Canada if we wanted to." Okay, let's follow that question up then. Yes. Does Lane Hutson make Team Canada as it is currently constructed? No. So why do you say that?
Yeah.
Neither does Cole Caulfield. I was going to say, adding them to Team Canada does not give them any higher of a chance. Notoriously hard team to make.
Yeah. I wonder if Caulfield could get a spot over maybe Jarvis, but like Sam Reinhart can score at a very similar rate to Cole Caulfield. Like the decision making here just continues to baffle. Like he's going to have like a 50-goal season for people to finally go, okay, he should be on an Olympic roster.
Yeah.
Like it's, I was really hoping that the States found a way to lose that game 2-1 in overtime so that we could go, that is exactly the kind of place where Cole Caulfield could have kept your tournament alive. Yeah. But they did not, they did not lose that game, unfortunately.
No.
And they really should have. I think they should have lost that one.
Just one more thing back to Team Canada. I think there are some players that I feel did not come as advertised. And one of them is Tom Wilson.
Yeah.
I think if we were getting the version of Tom Wilson that the Habs saw in the playoffs, is very different. This is not the Tom Wilson we're seeing.
Yeah, I agree. That's it. We're all wrapped up. Hey, I guess one more question. Who wins the gold medal?
A certain country will win it, is all I'm gonna say.
Yes. A nation state will end up walking away with gold, silver, and
certainly.
Bronze. Yes.
Certainly. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say.
I would not sign my name to a prediction, but I will say that there are 3 teams where I wouldn't be that disappointed if they win the gold medal. And then there's one team where I think I might be devastated for 3 days if they win the gold medal.
Yeah, I agree. And Nick Suzuki will be fantastic in our final games of this tournament. I'm very much looking forward to seeing Nick finish this tournament up.
I want to see Nick in the next 2 games. There are 2 games, whether they win or lose, right?
2
They're
games.
gonna, there's
Yep.
gonna be 2 games.
Yeah.
I want to see Nick be incredible, and I want to wipe some people's smiles off of their faces. That's what I really want. All right.
100%.
On that note, our lovely and wonderful Kay Imam, can you please let people know where to find you on social media and when the season starts again?
Yeah, you can find me on Game Over Montreal, recapping games, talking about games. When I'm not there, my lovely co-hosts are. And you can find me on Blue Sky at Line Composition. And on, find me on Blue Sky. That's where I want to be. Find
Good
me on Blue
answer.
Sky.
That's a good answer. That's where we like to be. And that's where
Yeah.
you can find us. But obviously we want to thank you all for listening to us today, as you always do. And you know, on Monday we'll be talking about the outcomes of the games that we just previewed. So make sure that you are subscribed. And we actually have 2 special guests coming next week. You got 2 this week and you're getting 2 next week. So make sure
Oh.
you're subscribed to and that you follow Locked On Canadiens so you get all the latest episodes. On social media, you'll find us on TikTok, Blue Sky, and Instagram at Locked On Canadiens. You'll find my co-host at Maybe It's Ian. You'll find me at The Active Stick. And if you never miss an episode, the Everydayer Club is built for you. Get Locked On Canadiens ad-free, plus members-only Discord access and more. Head to lockedoncanadiens.supercast.com to join the club. For those of you on video, we're going to send you to the first ever 24/7 National Locked On Podcast Network YouTube channel. And on audio, make sure your second listen of the day is NHL Game Night on Locked On NHL. They generally cover all the NHL games, but they're covering all of the Olympic Games as well. We want to thank you all so much for listening. And we will see you all on Monday, hopefully with giant smiles on our faces.
Yeah.